All right, here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Derelict Watcher, trailing 1-2 from Canada. It is Scarlett. And up in the top right-hand corner of the map, some call him the Tyrant, some call him the Dong. E.G. Jaedong. Jaedong one map away from moving on to the grand finals of WCS America, where he could have a shot at $20,000.
A crazy amount of WCS points, and above all, Ben, his first Starcraft 2 championship.
Something that he probably wants more than
both those things combined.
Yeah, you know, he's tasted the sweet, sweet taste of victory countless times in Brood War, but he's only got silver medals in StarCraft 2 thus far. 2 of them, in fact.
Yeah. This is still very, very respectable. Jaedong has been a very busy man over the last few months. He's got so many WCS points. He's actually like 8th in the ranking right now, and he got like around 2,600 points. And that is already a very healthy amount. But what is crazy to think of is that he didn't even get any points in WCS Season 1. Because it took him a little while to actually get into the Premier League over here and just make it far. So Jaedong, having a crazy amount of points just gathered from all over the world, is now finally getting a lot of points in the WCS League as well. And of course, he's already got a lot of points. He qualifies for Gamescom, gets additional 500 points. And of course, if he would do very well at Gamescom, the Season 2 finals, well, then I think it's safe to say, Ben, that we might see Jaedong at BlizzCon.
It's a very real possibility, man, and I would love to have the chance to cheer for, well, I guess I will have the chance to cheer for Jaedong at Gamescom no matter what. But
at BlizzCon.
but at BlizzCon, certainly that would be awesome too. Both players with similar openings once again, Kev, hatch first into gas into spawning pool, so you know, Derelict is a map with a very wide ramp. It makes speedlings super effective, not to mention the fact that it's so open and so big. Mobility is key on Derelict Watcher, so we're probably going to see a heavy emphasis on speedling and probably a little bit of baneling play as well.
Also one of those maps where one queen is not just going to cover the ramp. You cannot just put a queen over here and expect all the units to see all the units that are leaving the main or the natural. As soon as one queen is going to usher the Overlord out a little bit, there are so many things which you can do secretly, and it's almost impossible to cover every single path that roaches and lynx can walk. So it's a map where you're going to have to be active with your units all the time, and non-stop scouting is required.
Scarlett goes ahead and drops her baneling nest. Jaedong, for the time being, working on a couple of Overlords and producing his first couple of Zerglings.
I think it's going to be more than just these couple of Zerglings. I think Jaedong is going to make a lot of Zerglings.
That's kind of what it's looking like. There it is, 10 more onto the production tab.
Started with 21 drones against the 19 of Jaedong right now. That's a very healthy number to just start producing a lot of links, and that is exactly what C is doing so far.
Jaedong's speed's also going to finish up ever so slightly faster than Scarlett's, and that might not seem like a big deal, but he's able to usher out all of Scarlett's ability to scout, so she's going to be blind to these speedlings running out for a little bit longer than she would be if her speed were ready.
Yeah, we can already see what we were talking about before. This queen is going to scare this Overlord away a little bit. Of course, Scarlett's going to try to do the same thing. Scarlett indeed has to be careful, man, as you mentioned before. Well, her link finishes up now as well, but it's so many Zerglings from Jaedong.
Here they come. Scarlett sees it at the last second, but she reacts to it. She's
still going to attack. Just with a few at least, and she's going to defend with the rest.
Queen, and I guess she will come back with the rest. Baneling's morphing on the ramp of Scarlett. It all comes down to this. Jaedong with a huge speedling attack. Got to be careful on the ramp. Oh, man, big connection. But Jaedong keeps most of his units alive. Good control once again. Putting Jaedong!
I really like this position for Scarlett, though. She still has a couple of links on the other side of the map.
Man. She held. Lings are going to try to threaten this ramp. Great control again from Jaedong, but Scarlett's going to come out of this in an excellent position. Worker-wise, it's 20-21 with Scarlett enjoying that one drone advantage, but
and he was able to pick up this queen that was out on the maps. He left a couple of links behind, cleared up that queen. Really, really good timing on those banelings. It could have even been worse for Jaedong if all of those links would have run up, but of course Jaedong not making a rookie mistake.
Yeah, very, very clutch play from Scarlett. I'm so impressed to see her defend that so easily. That speeding attack is brutal, and
Jaedong has a couple of banelings in his own natural as well, though. Just 2 of them. Gonna need more than just that.
2 is enough to.
Oh my God!
Great detonation for Jaedong as he kills all the banelings of Scarlett. That is not what Scarlett wanted to
2 for
have
5
happen.
or 2 for 6 even. Yeah. Excellent exchange there for Jaedong. Of course, very unfortunate for Scarlett. But she's still definitely in it. I mean, she was ahead in workers. She was able to make a small mistake like that.
And with that, she's also forced to produce a lot more Zerglings, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Good control from Jaedong still. Both these players,
She still has way more lings on the map, though. Right now, Jaedong is enjoying that small drone advantage, but Scarlett is having almost double the amount of Zerglings.
And look at these Baneling flanks that Scarlett is throwing down. She's trying to catch... Oh, man, she's trying to catch Jaedong in a position, and she does! Great positional play out of Scarlett, cleaning up all the Zerglings of Jaedong, and now Jaedong's going to have to play defense. Back in his natural, we can see he's building a Spine Crawler, but that is all he has. A couple Banelings morphing at the top of his ramp. It looks like he's managed to buy himself time for them to finish.
The 1 HP Baneling that managed to get away. And that's actually a pretty damn important Baneling against so many Speedlings.
It's a seldom thing that a Baneling lives to see 1 hit point.
Look at this one Baneling. Oh.
He's going to connect pretty well. Oh, that was a good exchange for Scarlett. 1 ling for a full health Baneling that time. She is going to continue to dance on this ramp, but oh man, she's playing with fire and acid.
Well, that was a reasonable exchange once more for Scarlett there. Taking a look at the link count, it's 20 against 8 right now, but with the Queen, with the Spine Crawler, it's still really hard to do anything with that small ling advantage. She does have an advantage in the layer timing as well, just a little bit quicker than the layer of Jaedong.
These Ling Baneling wars, so frantic and so exciting. Both players doing a great job of not having a catastrophic failure, right? Usually the outcome of these games is determined by one big Baneling connection, but both sides microing so superbly.
Scarlett having a much bigger Ling army over here than Jaedong. Jaedong once more going to end up losing a few Lings, of course. Not necessarily a big deal, but eventually does add up. 17 against 4 right now. Worker-wise, it is very even. Both players most likely just going to drop the Spire immediately, and we can see the Spire going down behind the mineral line. Not something I necessarily expected on this map, but you know, it is a very big and wide open map. But
third hatch is down for Scarlett. Jaedong has not opted to expand again yet. Both players are getting their Spires at roughly the same time. There's a big swell of Lings coming from Jaedong, so he's going to try to take back some of this map control.
Because he lost all of his Lings before. But with that big 12 Lings, he's going to have a small Ling advantage. So he's going to be able at least to run around in the map a little bit. Perhaps put on some pressure on this base, but I think that's going to be hard. Scarlett, of course, is going to have defender's advantage, and with her additional reinforcements, she should be able to keep that base alive.
She'll be just fine. Both players saving up about the same amount of gas as they are preparing for their Spires to complete. Good scouting by Scarlett will spot the third base of Jaedong. Baneling's trying to be very annoying.
Jaedong has to be so careful right now.
Really nice control from Jaedong. Kills one of those Banelings. Can he kill the other? Really wants to save his hatchery. Does not want to...
but he is going to lose the hatchery, though. Wow, that was so well done by Scarlett. Those 2 Banelings making all the difference there. Now Jaedong is going to try to do the same thing on the other side of the map, but he only has 11 Lings on the map.
Yeah, these 4 Lings aren't going to get it done, as they will be surrounded and ceremoniously ushered away. Spine Crawler headbutt kills one of them, as Scarlett will defend her own third base. So that's excellent for Scarlett. In these Muta wars, this is exactly what we're going to see happening. The player with the most gas is able to get the most mutas, and that's what wins you the game. So Scarlett will jump ahead as soon as she starts mining on that third expansion.
Jaedong's going to try to do something happen with all of these Lings. He might be able to pick up the Queen, but there are enough Lings to save the Queen.
And the mutas are out, and Scarlett expertly picking off Banelings with those mutas is now going to lock off her half of the map. Jaedong's going to have to be so incredibly careful about how he goes about taking engagements from this point forward, because at this moment, Scarlett is ahead in every possible way. She's going to have more mutas soon, and the rest she's also leading on.
There is a small advantage for Jaedong, and that is that his +1 armor is going to finish up roughly 25 seconds quicker. Now, this might sound like a ridiculous thing, but if he's able to get the fight somehow in that small window when he's going to have armor and Scarlett doesn't, that could definitely turn things around.
Yeah, but it's going to be so hard for him even to recognize that, because he does not know if Scarlett started that upgrade. He does not know when she started that upgrade, so he would be gambling. Forcing a big fight like that. Scarlett enjoying that extra gas income. Jaedong does now have his third, will now start mining, and should begin to start catching back up, but it will be tough. Scarlett now up to 15 mutas against Jaedong's 12, and that means Jaedong can't really fight that muta versus muta war.
She's also been able to pick off quite a few overlords here and there, quite annoying. We can see it in the unit's last resource step as well. Jaedong has lost roughly 1,000 more than Scarlett. And 1,000 in the ZvZ, where the drone count has always been so close, is a pretty damn big deal.
The score in this best of 5 is 1-2 right now, with Jaedong leading. So Scarlett really doing a great job of asserting herself and showing off some great ZvZ.
Still has plenty of Zerglings out on the map as well. Jaedong trying to be
Jaedong's
as
going to catch
annoying
the
as
mutas in the middle of the
possible.
map, but does he have enough? He will kill off a couple of Scarlett's mutas, but he too will be losing some mutas. It's 17 mutas to 12. I don't think this is a fight Jaedong can win. He's losing so many mutalists, Kev. Scarlett is going to crush that fight. And that is exactly what you were talking about. Jaedong trying to fight with his +1 advantage, but Scarlett's upgrade finished, and she had the better numbers. Now she's just going to stream into the third base. I don't know if Jaedong can hold. I don't think Jaedong can hold here. Does he have a Spore Crawler? No, he does not. So once Scarlett realizes her air dominance, all she has to do is assert her air dominance.
And two queens over here. Those would help out a little bit. No, Jaedong, every muta counts right now. Man, that was a very unfortunate muta.
17 mutas to 12. Every time Scarlett turns around, she's going to kill a muta. And another great exchange. Scarlett continues to win these fights in the skies. Link streaming in as well. Jaedong is on the ropes. He's trying to hold with Zerglings, Banelings, mutas, and queens, and he's doing a good job, but Scarlett's still ahead in supplies. Picks off the Banelings, is going to continue to lay on the pressure.
Scarlett is playing absolutely fantastic. Link streaming in right now. He has enough mutalists to clean up these mutas from Jaedong. And even though Jaedong has a lot of reinforcements coming in, I don't think it's going to matter.
Good